All right, good morning, Team Exhilarate. It's August 10th, and we are doing our weekly Zoom call. And I'm super excited because we have Jesse Miller on today. He's guest speaking, and he's going to share his story and his tips on how he has been so successful in his first 2 months as a coach. But first, let's talk about how awesome you guys are already doing in the month of August. We have some people in Success Club. And I'll start with Porto Lyons. She's in Success Club 5. She's got 6 points. And then we have people who are so close. Kathleen, she is at 4 points. And Laura Starkweather, she's at 2 points. Lauren O, she's at 4 points. Angie, she's on the call here. She's at 2 points. We have Lisa Peterlin at 2 points. And then we have Jennifer Zeleznik at 2 points. So way to go, guys. Very exciting stuff. You guys are going to crush August. So close to 5 and definitely hit 10. So we'll go right into, learning more about Jesse. And Jesse and I met at the Diamond event last month. And he quickly introduced himself, a very outgoing guy. Just a person that you want to be around, very energetic, has a lot of value to offer to others, and that's why I wanted him on our call, because he's going to share with us his story, like I had already mentioned, and his tips. So Jesse used to be an OR nurse by trade, but he's currently working or as a sales rep who works closely with the doctors to make sure that the patients get the best quality care. And in just 2 months in the business, he's hitting Success Club 10. He's 1-star qualified and just inches away from 2-star. So Jesse, tell us, what the heck are you doing? First of all, tell us your story, and then share your tips with us. So how did you get started?
Okay. Well, thank you, Lindsay. It's an honor to be here this morning, guys. It's really, I know it's early for some of you guys if you're on the call, but we're here ready to rock and roll. That's what this is about, getting out and making this stuff happen and treating it like a real business. And in a real business, you want to show up and make sure that you are working your business every day. And if that's getting up early and going to bed late to keep it going, then that's what you need to do. So thank you guys for being here for that. Let me share my story. I will go into it real quick because I have some great tips I want to go over. So I want to make sure I have enough time. I started in this business simply the same way as a lot of your challengers are. I came in, overweight, and I was actually at about 226 pounds when I first decided to find my journey, I guess I would say, to getting healthier. And basically, I worked in surgery for 18 years. I became a sales rep after that time, and started helping doctors on the other side of the table, as you would say. And by doing that, I traveled a lot, so I wound up getting fast food. Wendy's was my addiction. So I would grab a burger, a large fry, and a large, probably Dr. Pepper's was my drink. So basically I would go out every day and just keep eating, bad, and eventually sitting in the car most of the time driving. I just got bigger and bigger and more unhappy. And as time went on, I noticed that I started getting really bad chest pains and things. So I went and seen the doctor, and he pretty much just told me what I already knew, that I was overweight and that I needed to do something about it sooner than later before something really happened. So that kind of scared me, especially being in the medical field for so long. We understand, as being around, diabetes and things like that what can happen to you. So, it really woke me up and made me realize that, I needed to make a change in my life. And so that's what I did. It wasn't easy. My wife, she had already been doing Insanity. We had purchased T2, or not T25, but P90X, the very first one. I'm actually downstairs in the man cave, so excuse me for the stuff down here. But This was the most quiet place I could go without waking everybody up. So, but basically, we started out with P90X, and but I didn't do it. I got it thinking, oh, I'm gonna rock this out, but it was just too hard because I was too big and overweight, and just was just not into it at that time. We've had these programs probably about 4 or 5 years, and my wife had done Insanity when it came out. She actually went through it twice. So she pushed me after I came home from the doctor. I kind of told her, I said, listen, whatever we need to do to make this happen and get my butt up off the couch, let's do it. And that's when T25 came out. And that, I tell you what, that totally changed my life. T25 allowed me to, in my mind, my mental game to change, because it was like, all right, 25 minutes a day, I can do this. It's not 45 minutes to an hour of hardcore trying to kill myself. It's 25 minutes of getting up and just moving around a little bit. And that's what I did. So I jumped in, I tried to do it, but it wasn't easy. I worked my butt off after work, and I was tired and hurt and sore. But I got up every day and I did it again. After I got off work, I'd come straight home, change, and start working out. And I tell you, after a while, it got easier. It's like everything else. You just consistently do it, and it gets easier. And I started to notice the weight come off. I started eating better, obviously. And, I was using FitPal at the time because I didn't have anything else to help me with that. So I just used FitPal to try to figure out what foods. I was trying to keep my calories down to about 1,700 at that time because I was overweight so much. 60 days, long story short, 60 days, I lost 42 pounds. Started looking good, feeling good. I noticed that, everything was changing for me. At that point, my life was starting to move around, and it was still busy, but I was working it into my schedule. And, by trying to figure out a schedule for my workout routines and staying consistent with that and still working, that was the most important thing for me to stay healthy. So what I started doing was running also. I had some time on the Saturdays, and I started running a little bit, trying to get, my cardio up a little bit more. And I ran into my coach, who happened to live across the street. She actually stopped me on the road. She knew that I had been doing T25 and had the programs. And basically she just kind of mentioned to me about, the Beachbody thing. I had seen it on the videos and things like that about, Shakeology and stuff, and about being a coach. And, I kind of was like, well, okay, maybe we'll see. And, she kept on, and then she finally just talked me into checking it out. And then, when I told her, I just told her straight up, I said, listen, if I get into something like this, because I had been into MLM businesses in the past and done other things, obviously, I'm an entrepreneur by heart. I've done a lot of different things that were outside the scope of this, but I had done MLM in some way, but I just wasn't interested in that anymore. It was too hard to do it that way. The natural going out and talking to people and trying to bring them into a network marketing to sell them a bunch of stuff. Just for me, it just wasn't where I was at, in my life. And so I told her, I said, listen, if I do this, I want to be all in. I had known, I was pretty close to Tommy Migrant. Yeah, I guess I knew him pretty well when he lived here in Ohio. So I knew what he did, and I knew how he was successful in Beachbody. So that kind of was another factor that kind of pushed me toward Beachbody. Obviously, I was a Beachbody lifer anyway. So it just made more sense. So I just told her, I said, listen, if we're going to do this, let's do it right. I'm all in. Let's rock this. And I'm not going to, I need you to be all in too. And at the time, I didn't understand, it wasn't about her helping me. It was about me helping me and succeeding myself. So, but I said to her, I said, I want to make sure that you're in, because I don't want to come into this and not have any support. And, being new to it, I didn't have that mindset right again. And so she said yes. We got in. I just took off. I just went in. I just started taking off, and started doing things a little bit different, the way that I was kind of showed when I first came in. And for me, it just didn't work. It wasn't what I got into it for. We have several different ways that we can work this business, and you guys will find that out. Since I'm talking to you guys, and I'm not talking to other people who are brand new coaches, I'm hoping that I've got people in here who's been here for at least a week or so. You kind of understand the business a little bit, but you know that when you get into the business that you have several different ways that you can work this. And what you can do is either you can lead by the lifestyle or you can lead by the challenge. Well, for me, I wasn't more the lifestyle, I was more the challenge, because that's where I was in my lifetime. I had lost the weight and I wanted to help other people do the same thing. So that's the route I needed to take. So that's what I did. I started focusing on challenge packs. I started focusing on how I can bring people in and help them first versus trying to sell them a new lifestyle. And what I noticed was that I started getting more people coming to me through that opportunity and making things easier for me. So long story short, so I can get to my 10 points that I need to talk to you about, because I could go on and on. Basically, I got in. I started doing the challenge with one of my challenges that I did. I did the 21-day. Actually, I started out with a free one. So listen up, guys. Do your free one no matter what. Always have a free challenge group going, whether you do paid or anything else. Always have some kind of free one going, whether it's 5 days, 21 days, whatever. What that does, it helps you build credibility and get you closer to your people in that group. Now, you can use that group and then continue to invite people and share for the paid groups, and that's what I do. But you want to make sure that you have that free group, because you always have that as a backup to bring people in when you get close to the end of the month, and you can say, hey, look, I noticed you were doing my 5-day. They didn't come into the 21 yet, but you can come back and talk to those people because you have a more of a relationship with them. It's all about building relationships. So the more you do those free ones, the more opportunity you have to build relationships with more people on top of bringing people into your business. So it's just another way to add to value to your people by giving them free things once in a while. And it's not just about the free group, but it's about giving value. And your time is value. And that giving that time to people is what's going to help drive your business. So always have that. But I'll get into that in the 10 points I have for you guys. Okay. So long story short, I got a challenge group going. I did my free one for 30 days. I did a 30-day plank. It was a little bit longer than I wanted to. I was very anxious, wanted to get going. I'm that type of person. I'm very just, let's rock and roll and let's get things done. So what I did was I had the 30-day plank going. I met a lot of people. Actually, I only had like 100 and something people in my Facebook. And the only reason I had that was because I was, trying to do the other stuff back, a long time ago. And people were friending me. So I friended them back. I knew everybody was trying to use Facebook. So I didn't know anybody. So I really didn't have any friends or anything on my Facebook page. So I had to start from ground zero. So this is what I did. Very, very good information. If you don't have hardly anybody on your Facebook page, or you just have your family and friends, these free groups are going to help you grow. So that's why it's important that you do that as well, especially if you're starting out. Always start a free group if you're just starting out. What I did was invited everybody on that to my free group. Hardly anybody came. I had like maybe 6 people from that because nobody knew me. But what I did was I went and messaged them, private messaged them and said, hey, I don't know you very well, but I want to get to know you. I've got this, 30-day plank going. Would you like to join and try to lose a little bit of weight, get toned up, or just whatever, we'll work with you. It's free. And I had more people come that way because I messaged them personally and invited them to a free group. So as people started coming in, I had it set up to where I had a point scale. And doing a point scale, which I had learned from top leaders, doing the point scale, I was able to create a little vibe, a little contest. And in that contest, I had people going out and inviting more people in. And then what they did was, as they invited people in, I started friending their people too. So what I started doing was I started building my friend list really fast inside of the 30 days. Although I wasn't selling anything, I wasn't, getting anybody into my other challenge groups, I wasn't doing anything else. but trying to build up some kind of network of people that I can work with, because you have to have a network. You have to consistently do that, or you're not going to have any business, because there's nobody going to be left to talk to. But that's what I did. And after 30 days, I had wound up from 100 and something people. I had 80 people that actually joined the plank, 60 people who did it, and we had like over 600 people who were invited. So what I did was I wound up becoming friends probably with more than half those people. So I created probably about 500 or 600 people in my network within 30 days. That's huge, because you can't really friend a lot of people. But by doing that challenge group and being in there and being consistent every day, people started friending me that were in that. And then their friends started seeing that and friending me and coming in. Now, I said 80 something people, but we had 600 people invited. Some people would come, friend me, and leave because it wasn't for them. But they still friended me. And, you know, and what happened was, by doing that, they were able to, sorry, I got threw off, guys. By doing that, they were able to I was able to build a better network of stronger people. Not all of them were good, but I was able to take that and make things a little bit easier for myself. All right, so let me see here. Yes, I did. So we had a question. I was just trying to answer the question here. Sorry, I'm kind of still new to this Zoom thing. It's only been 2 months, guys. So, yes, I did. So the question was, did I do groups and events? I did event for that one. The very first one was an event. It was the easiest one. You can invite as many people as you wanted. I wasn't even familiar with groups yet at that point, so I just did an event. Jean, my coach, that's all she does. She does events after event after event. That's how she builds hers. She's more of the free events and moving people in. But I'll get into that, how I do mine totally now. But long story short, I did that. I wound up getting enough people. I brought 2 people in from that into my 21 day. One of those people was my kind of like sister-in-law, was my brother's wife's sister. She had a bunch of problems, and she couldn't even go outside without a mask on. I mean, she had a lot of medical issues and things. So when she came to me, she was really in that situation where she was just asking me for help. That was the first time I ever had someone ask me for help like that. So it's very powerful what we have here. It really is, guys. So I want you to understand that, you know, what we have here, we have an opportunity to change lives. And, you know, how many people can go through life and say that they changed someone's life, even one person's life? And that's what we have here, the power to do that. And that alone should drive you. And if you really care about people. So, you know, what I did was I got her involved, and I showed her how to basically get in the 21 day. She was my first person in. I got her in the 21 day. She started using Shakeology. Got her on that immediately. And within 1 week, she messaged me back and said, "I want to be a coach." And I said, I didn't even bring it up. I said, "Oh, okay. Why? Why do you want to be a coach?" Because she had not even gotten results yet. She told me that within 1 week she had Shakeology, that her life has totally changed. She can now go outside. She got her energy back. She couldn't even do the freaking workouts when she first started. And in the past, she couldn't do any workouts. She tried and she quit. But within 1 week of Shakeology and trying to do the workout, she was able to get through her first workout in the 21 day. And she had more energy, and she was able to go outside and cut the grass without a mask on. I mean, these are things that we take for granted. She couldn't do. And she was able to do that after 1 week of Shakeology. I mean, that's amazing. To me, that was like, wow. You know, I mean, I was like, this is crazy. You know, and I wasn't like really sold on Shakeology, you know, mentally, you know, I was doing Shakeology because I knew it worked. But when I seen that and I seen what it really could do for people, I mean, that changed me. That totally changed my outlook on what we have here. Not only do we have the power to help people and to change lives, but we've got a product that is so good that nothing else can match it, is how I feel about it. And that's how I go out there. That's the confidence I have when I go out and I talk to people. I know for a fact that what we have is going to change lives. And I know if I don't talk to these people, that I'm doing them a disservice and I'm not helping them. and I'm not allowing them to have the same opportunities that I'm having for myself and other people that I've helped already. So, keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind that when you're out there, stay confident. Be confident about what you're doing. Be confident about what you have and what you're able to do with Beachbody. I mean, they've given us an opportunity here to share such a huge thing and make a good living at it if that's what you want, or just help people. I mean, you have so many opportunities here. So, with that being said, my first challenge group, my first person came in. She became my first coach. She loved it, and she took off. She became my first diamond. Okay, so that's within 30 days. 30 days. She actually signed up more people than I did within the first 2 weeks. It really kicked me in the butt when she came on, because I told my wife, I said, oh my God, she's already almost a diamond. And I was still like an emerald with one person. So, I mean, I wasn't really, I didn't find my niche yet. So, the thing was, I think that kicked me in gear, knowing that she's doing it, she's rocking it out, and all she was doing was sharing her story. She didn't even have the script. She didn't even have my script yet, because I didn't really have a script. I was still trying to figure it out. So what I told her to do was just write down her story, write her story out and share her story. And that's what she did. And she brought on like 6 people within a week, with her story and what is done for her. And, and she just took off. So when she went diamond, I had busted my butt to try to make sure I caught up with her. So I had went diamond. And so what happened was it catapulted me up to 1-star qualified. So that's how I got 1-star qualified within 30 days. So, I mean, it can be done. You can do it. It's just about getting out there and sharing what you have and finding the right people to share it with, people that are going to be inspired by that, and they're going to take off and they're going to help you, share that story. And by doing that, it's going to help grow your business. It really is that powerful. So, long story short, and I know I keep saying that, but it is a long story, so I just want to keep it short. So we get into, my challenge groups. I did do the challenge myself. I wanted to make sure that I was a product of the product. It's part of our 3 vitals, guys. You want to make sure you're doing that. It basically brought me into another, part of my life where I lost another 18 pounds. So I'm down 66 pounds total. So that's a huge thing for me. I'm at, probably the weight I'm going to stay. I'm working on bulking up at this point. I'm trying to get like Lindsay's husband, but, that's a long ways away, but that's okay. I'm happy with the way I look. But it's really is. It's changed my life to not only physically, but it's made my mental game change and how I work this business. And that's what I want to get into. So, I'm 1-star qualified at this point. I'm actually about to go 2-star qualified. My rock stars, other coach on the other side that I found, and shared this story. She took off. She actually signed up 6 coaches last week. She's changing lives. Like, there's just nobody out there. I'm just like blown away. So she's probably going to go diamond this week. Hopefully we're working on that. She only needs 1 person to go emerald, and she's diamond. So that's 2-star qualified in less than 3 months. So it can be done. It's about getting out there and finding the right people and sharing this story with every single freaking person that you can find. And I'm telling you, if you do that and you stay confident, you will find the people and you will attract them to you, because your confidence, your persistence, and your consistency is what people are going to look for. And that's what they want in leaders. And if you want to be a leader, you got to have these things no matter what. So let me go into my 10 things, and I'll run through them real quick because I'm not sure how much time we got left here. But let me get a drink of water and we'll go for it. Okay, so that's my story. And, I pretty much stick to my list. I have a list here that I wrote down. Everything's usually mental for me, so I just have it, I just know what I do every day. But I kind of wrote it down to kind of give you an ideal. And, when I send this out to my coaches, I walk them through this, but I walk them in sections because it is a learning, part of this business, but you don't want to flood people with everything at once because it's overwhelming. So, what you want to do is you want to lead them in the direction they need to go, because you are the leader. So lead them where they need to go. Help them be successful by giving them a path, a roadmap, and, not just by throwing everything at them at once. So what I do is I always focus on, obviously, the 3 vital behaviors. That's our first thing. I'll bring them in with a GSR call. I do all my calls personally. I want to make sure that I feel that connection with them automatically. As soon as I bring them in as a coach, I get on the phone with them immediately, and I build some kind of trust other than they just bought this challenge pack from me and signed up as a coach for a discount or whatever they want to do. I get on the phone with them, and I find out where they are. I find out if they just want to be a discount coach or if they want to be more than that. They want to share their story, their journey, or they want to build this business. I try to find out where they are in their business or in their mindset. And I go from there, and I just let them know up front that no matter what we do here, whether a challenger, and this is important, no matter if they're a challenger or if they're a coach, if they're successful in this, it's because they did it. And if they're not, it's because they didn't do it. Okay, it's the same thing I do in my business. I see we only have a few minutes here, so I'm going to run through this real quick, guys. So that's okay. Sorry. So basically, you want to make sure that you follow up with them and you lead them in the right direction. I do tell them, I give them some kind of thought, whether they're challengers or not, that they're going to be successful if they put the time in and they make it happen. It's not going to be on me. I will give them the tools and I will help them along the way, and I'll run with them just as fast as they want to run, or we'll work as slow as they want to work. It's the same way with my coaches. It's the same way with my challengers. I don't treat anybody different, because the way I look at it is each one of these challengers could be a possible coach. Is if you start training them now as challengers, you can move them into being a coach a lot easier, and they already have that mindset of that this is about them and about them making the game happen, rather than you making it happen for them. Okay, so that's why it's important. So 3 vital behaviors, very important. Make sure you're inviting every single day, no matter what. Be a product of the product. Obviously, you got to be a product of product. You got to be out there sharing your story. You got to be out there sharing that you are doing what it takes to be consistent as well as successful in your weight loss or your journey, whatever it is, getting toned up. By showing that and sharing that with people and being consistent, they're going to trust you more, and they're going to say, hey, look, Jesse's doing it, or Angie's doing it, or Lindsay's doing it, or anybody else out there that's doing it. This is what I want to be part of. I see her out there busting her butt at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock. If you're consistent and you pop up here every day, they're going to come. They're going to know that you're there, because they're going to come looking for you. And if you stay consistent, you're going to have people that trust you more, because they know they can rely on you to be there and show up every day. And that's what the kind of people you're going to want. They're going to want to be a part of. When they come into your business, that's their mindset. This is the person I can trust. I know he's going to be on time.